There we go. Hello. Hello. Welcome to Truth Runs Deep podcast. My name is Terryn,
I'm Kalli.
and we're here to talk about all things law and order, SVU, organized crime, fanfic writing, and more. And we're sorry for skipping an episode last week. A lot of stuff happened in life, so we did not
It's
record.
been a while.
Yeah, it's
but
been
I
a
think
while.
We're here now.
It's been like 2 weeks. Well, not quite 2 weeks. Close enough 2 weeks.
Things
We
happen.
usually record. Yeah, things happen. And we didn't record last week. But luckily, it was an off week, so it didn't really matter that we didn't record. But we did want to do a
I was
True
having
Speaks
like
for the
this
Resistance.
major,
Probably next break. Or a weekend special. We'll see.
I have this thing with my anxiety that if we don't get an episode done,
AirPods, why won't you get
in time for the next episode, I'm like,
hold on.
oh, it's gonna be weird. Then we're gonna be talking about 2 episodes at once, and then I remember there was an off week, and I felt better. Okay.
There we go. Now we have audience.
Okay. So before we start
talking
about the episodes, we have casting.
Oh, we gotta start with the first thing. Today is Mariska's birthday.
Happy birthday, Mariska!
Yeah, happy birthday. We gotta start with that. So before you get to anybody else's news on the day of recording, which is what's the 23rd?
January 23rd.
Yeah.
Monday, January 23rd. Mariska's birthday.
It is Mariska's birthday. So happy birthday. Yeah, we love you so much, and you wouldn't have a show without you, so yeah. But so we get to get that as before we get to anything else.
It's her birthday.
It is her birthday today when we're recording because yeah. Okay, now there's a lot of it.
There is a lot of stuff.
Because I still need to focus on it. Don't worry.
So the first thing
it fell over.
was that Raul
about me. Yeah, that was today's news.
What?
I'm right here. I'm still here.
I thought you were saying something else.
No, anyway, I was mumbling to myself like I always do. Don't worry. The laundry basket fell over, and I was like, "Don't fall over on the floor."
Everything so the first my life together that we got is Raul is workshopping a new musical. It's called
Leap.
Yeah. Leap. And he is playing Harvey Milk.
Yes.
For those of you who do not know who he is, he was a senator in from the state of California, and he was the first openly gay I don't know, make sure I have this right.
Representative, I think, ever. Believe when we Googled it, the stuff.
He was an American politician and the first openly gay man to be elected to public office in California as a member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. He also won a Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Yes.
Another thing about him is that unfortunately he was assassinated. But yeah, so it's very cool that Raul is going to be able to play this role. It's been a while since he's played a role that's been we all know Raul is bisexual, but a lot of the roles that he's played lately, the significant other has been a woman.
Yeah.
So now we got one where the significant other is a man, and it's the first one.
That'll be fun to see. No, it's on. We'll see.
I want to see it really bad. But we've all been talking to our friends, and we're like, so
please road trip right now.
We're all going, right?
Broadway wins.
Yes, Broadway wins.
And then he also he's cast in something else. Been cast in something else to be found out today. Before we recorded.
What is it called?
Ooh, it's a show. A show.
It's a TV show.
Besides Retreat. I mean, besides
Retreat, which is finally
on Retreat for like 6 months, for like a year. So long.
He's going to star in another FX pilot called The Answers, which is based on a book, and he's going to be playing a doctor, which is exciting. I'm really interested to see that.
Hopefully, it could be real. You seem like Chilton on Hannibal, but Chilton's not a real doctor.
That was like a psychiatrist doctor.
But still, questionable ethics psychologist.
Crazy, questionable ethics. For one, will be very interested to see him play like, if this is the case, an actual medical doctor, in a white lab
That'll
coat.
be fun. We're excited.
Hey.
Yeah. Then Kelly did a performance. Kelly's doing a
Kelly
performance tonight.
is
I don't know if
currently
it's done or not.
doing
It's
one or
currently.
just finished doing one, of a play
Bleach on my favorites.
called Spare Rib.
Yes,
It's very much
that's
based
exciting.
on, I think it's very much wrapped around the concept of abortion. And she's not the only SVU person who is in it, because Elizabeth Marvel, who played Rita Calhoun, is in
I
it.
love
So we got a
it.
little reunion
We've been
between
talking a lot about
them
in
two.
our we've been talking a lot about Rita in our like writing era, but we'll talk about
Yeah.
that, I guess, eventually someday.
Yeah. So Kelly is
I want to
doing.
write to write. I want to write to write that scene we were working on the other day real bad, but we'll finish it, I guess, someday.
Oh yeah.
Y'all don't understand. Like when we write, we like y'all. I know people love.
We
We'll talk
jump
about this later too.
everywhere.
When
Like
people love
literally, we'll get
people,
like things from the
ooh,
outside world, and then we're like, okay, now that we have this in the brain, we have to go write this.
yeah, literally.
Um,
That's but y'all be like people are like we're like, so excited for the resistance. I mean, soon, guys, soon. We're like
Working on
tiptoeing,
chapter 6. We are very
tiptoeing to the
happy
end.
you love it, because we're
We
not
added a
expecting
bunch of
it.
because the problem we keep adding scenes because we added a scene that wasn't supposed to go the way it was originally planned. So then it ended up being way longer than expected. This
Because
chapter's gonna be long.
I got a brainstorm,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm
When y'all
sorry, I just
finally read
need
it,
10 times longer.
it'll probably be this week. Probably. We're like inching
Hopefully,
towards done.
hopefully,
Inching.
yeah.
Like for real. We just
So,
got like one scene to finish. That's the final
um,
scene, final editing.
yeah,
And that boy will be out.
because it's a lot of different things happen for different characters in this
Yeah.
one
This
chapter.
one chapter is one day.
This one chapter is one day. It's
For
literally
a
like
lot of people. It's different
24
characters go
hours of
through different things. And we
things.
added a bunch of characters. There's a lot of characters that were added that we all excited to add, especially a couple of friends. They don't know. Like I don't think any of our friends know what's
Yeah,
coming in this chapter.
they're gonna
But
love it. Okay,
you're gonna love.
yeah.
You're all gonna love. Sorry, we'll talk about that more later because I have a lot
Kelly
to
and
say
Elizabeth
about.
are currently doing a reading of a play. I've seen pictures of her floating around, and I love it. Um,
Oh
I
yeah,
love when any of the SVU people do theater stuff, like,
yeah,
because
yeah.
and
This is
then
right
this has
now.
literally nothing to do with, like, nobody's actually done anything, but Ainsley went on TikTok and decided
Oh
to
yeah, we were. The
break
TikTok was.
everybody.
You were like you. I don't know what I was saying. I think I was doing some homework.
I
And
was in the
Callie
car
goes.
with
She was
my
like
brother.
Terryn all caps, and then she puts Terryn with 2 exclamation points all caps, and I was like, that's my legal name. That's my government name. That's the
I
name
was
my
in the
parents gave
car
me.
with my brother when they
I
posted
was
this video, and I
doing
had
my
to
laundry.
do my best not
I
to
washed
freak
my
out.
blazer, so now I can be all fancy smancy because I got communion wine on it. And that's okay. No,
Yeah,
I'm
so
serious. That was what happened
Ainsley
yesterday.
more or less so posted a
No, yeah, we had to have man. Sorry, we told you we were Jetsons. It wasn't a
they
problem. Like we've
very
admitted
much
to this.
are. Yeah, if you haven't
Hopefully,
seen
I'm
it,
sick. Man.
go
Y'all
look
go
at
watch. Go follow
TikTok
Ansley on TikTok
now. You'll
right
thank
now.
us.
Stop the episode
Um,
right
but
now.
my
Go
theory
watch the
behind
TikTok.
it
It only
is,
take you 30 minutes. Take you 30 seconds of your time.
and you'll thank us, because
So,
that they know what they're
this is
doing. They
this is
know
my
what they're
the
doing.
folding laundry era because I did not wash my clothes like I was supposed to.
Ainsley knows what they're doing, and I love it.
Exactly. I'd be like,
Um,
it's
like, but this came out of nowhere. Like,
good. We weren't ready.
I
You were
saw it
like,
first on an
she screamed
Instagram
at me. Kelly screamed
person
at
that I
me.
follow,
Well, not really screamed at me, but
who
you
is
know,
very much a huge Jet fan, and I
screamed
saw
at
it,
me via
and I
text.
saw the TikTok logo, and I'm like, oh my god, Ainsley posted on TikTok again. I watched the video, and I was like,
She made me watch and she made me stop what I was doing.
yeah, it was like, Terryn, you need to see this right now. So my
Terryn in all
theory behind
caps
it
with
is,
exclamation points.
first, pause this and go look at the video. Oh wait.
Yeah. I walked away to put my laundry in there. I can still hear you. Have my
Okay.
AirPods.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume that you looked at it
Yeah,
now. Okay, so
I
my
did.
theory right now
I
is
saw
that
it like I watched it when you told me to. That was like 3 hours ago.
my theory right now is that it's for an undercover thing.
Yes, probably.
But I will also fully accept Jet just wearing that little blue just
because.
because.
Just
Oh,
because she's like that. We did have a whole. Yes,
wait.
ma'am.
Remember
Ma'am. Yes. Yes.
remember that picture that Danielle posted of her in like that pink
Yeah.
tie-dye jumpsuit and Chris in the suit?
That's the
What
episode
if
this week.
What if it's for
That's the
that?
episode coming up. That's the
And
episode
that's
coming up.
all this, and like all the squad is dressed up for some reason. If
What?
freaking Jet dresses
Cassie
up
needs
like
to
that
run.
just for a nice NYPD event,
Yo,
I'll lose
NBC, your app is broken
my
again.
shit.
NBC, your app is broken again, and if it's not fixed, I'm gonna be real sad because I can't watch on my TV.
By the time this comes out, which is my two current,
I might just drive myself home.
Undercover,
drive myself,
or
drive myself
NYPD
home.
gala thing.
I'll drive myself home. Maybe we'll see.
I really
might drive myself home.
Terryn, am I allowed to show this on our podcast, or just count a copy?
Is it a picture? Is it a picture? No, pictures are not copyright claimed. If it's a video, possibly.
Well, I mean,
a video with music, possibly.
I wouldn't put the video. I just showed the picture.
Technically this isn't YouTube. And one day I was gonna upload all of our videos to YouTube, but that takes too much effort. And they would be the grumpled ones about music played in the video.
I want to show it so bad. They freaking know what they're doing.
Exactly.
But I don't want to get copyrighted.
I don't think we will. As long as I think podcasts aren't the same as YouTube.
All right,
YouTube, anyway.
I'm going with it.
You know what? We get paid like nothing to do barely anything to do this podcast. So if they decide to demonetize. Well, only YouTube demonetizes people. I know these things that you.
I mean, technically, is it public domain because they put it on the internet? Are we allowed to share it?
I'm pretty sure we are. We shared a lot of things. Honestly, there's no going back.
All right, fine. Here we go.
If the internet police are coming for us, they're going to take this one. The internet police are coming for me. I might as well go down soon.
Yeah, so this is why I sent Terryn text in all caps multiple times over.
Not once. Hold on,
I was like, you absolutely need to see this.
She did. Jamie stopped my homework like a responsible adult to watch a TikTok.
I know Ainsley will probably never see this, but I promise, ma'am, we
love
you
so much. We do.
Ma'am, sir, we love you.
We're number one fans, just saying. Probably number one fans.
Very much so.
I will take the role of number one fan.
Hopefully that's okay. Hopefully, if they do see this, they're okay with me putting it out there. But then again, people are sharing this on Instagram, so I think we're okay.
We're okay. There are plenty of. I don't think podcasts are the same as YouTube. Because I was gonna put the podcast on YouTube. I just was lazy.
The video if you don't go on TikTok or you don't watch us on Spotify anyway. So
yeah, go watch us on Spotify. Go. You have Spotify. Actually, look at us because it makes me feel good that I tried. I do a live editing to make sure that.
Hold up.
Yes.
I get it. Text you something now.
I don't sound like that.
And then we'll actually get to the episode because.
Sorry. Honestly, the episode wasn't too sad.
Later.
We talk about all kinds of stuff. Don't worry.
Once we get to organized crime, I can freak out about them again.
Oh no! It's been so long. It's almost SPD Day again. Of course. Sorry, we had to talk about. Listen.
Literally.
I did think I was gonna say that to you. Y'all be okay. So 100%. Cal and I text each other while we're recording sometimes because we say stuff. We don't say that stuff out loud because we don't spoil like stuff we worked on or will work on. But honestly, that's a good idea. It's a fantastic idea. That one time they said.
Oh, while we're on the topic of Ainsley and Jet and whatever, if you follow me on TikTok, I started this new series. It's so niche.
You can follow Kalli. You can talk from mine. I don't care.
It is so niche.
I'm almost to the end of the laundry pile. Woo!
It is so niche.
Usually laundry takes me forever because of like ADHD. I hate folding laundry. I actually did it in a reasonable amount of time.
I hate doing laundry. So the current series
I'm currently doing folding.
There's about 4 or 5.
Put it all away.
I have dedicated videos to describing the similarities between Jet and Alphaba from Wicked.
And I was talking to you on the way back from what I was doing.
Just in that. Go check
when I was talking.
I promise you, it's actually backed up with research.
Yeah, honestly, y'all don't understand how much time we spend researching. Like, I might as well go, like, you might as well be, like, teaching people this stuff. We kind of do. But, like, we spent a lot of time just being like, hey, yo, this is where we got this information from. So you can't say that I'm making this up.
Yeah. Okay. We actually need to review the episodes.
We do because it's late. It's late. It's a school night.
Well, as far as I know, it is for me.
Don't you like snow
We
or
had an
something?
early release today because of the snow, so I have no idea what tomorrow's gonna be like.
Alabama doesn't get snow. When we do, we close everything down. So I don't know what true. We get like this much snow when it does snow, and they'd be like, "Sorry, that was
Let's
a
do this.
snow."
Let's
Okay,
go.
sorry. Focus.
Sorry, that's not. I was joking.
Focus, brain. Focus.
Okay.
Let's go. I don't have the notes open either yet, but keep talking.
Okay.
Gotta put my clothes away.
The first episode, Law and Order.
So long.
It's called Second Chance.
So I remember these things randomly, but not like go in the drawer. I have no care to put this in correctly. Are you laughing? You're laughing at mine.
I'm sorry, but just
screaming in around the corner.
We started our podcast randomly.
Out of context is hilarious.
I would it would be so weird.
Me out of context is hilarious. I just be saying all kinds of stuff too.
On if we should do a live podcast episode.
That's not a question. We are gonna do one.
We are doing it. Oh, oops, never mind.
It'll probably be on YouTube. It'll probably be a YouTube watch. We have a YouTube channel. There's no videos on it yet because I haven't done that.
Okay. We gotta do this or I'll laugh myself into oblivion.
We're gonna. Okay, I'm almost done. Hold on. I told you it was funny. I'm just not intentionally funny. Okay, everything pajamas. I'll put those on in like 2 hours and go right there. Sorry, I talk to myself regularly, so this is just me in my normal habitat.
Oh, okay, I bought my dad a funny coaster from the paper store, and it says, "I talk to myself all the time." Wait, no, it says me. I talk to myself all the time. Me. OMG, same. That's me. I talk to myself all the time.
Both of us talk to ourselves and to each other all the time. Okay, sorry, for real. It's been like we've been rambling for like 20 minutes. We gotta start the show for real. This is what we're here for. Go.
The first thing that I wrote
was again. Don't worry. Actually, don't hold on. Yes, it's the same episode for real this time. The same episode we thought was the week before, but then it wasn't the week before. That was the thing. They played the wrong trailer, and we were like.
Anyway, so yeah, it's Sam's time again. It's time for real.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
We start out with a guy's store window. Guy's store window is broken. Yes. The store owner chases after the offender, and then the next thing we know, he ends up dead.
Yeah, it's real. You skipped the whole scene. There's a whole. Oh.
That is it.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot the week before. Sorry. The week before. Sorry. It's been a hot minute.
Is Derek Stanton. Cosgrove and Shaw are at the scene, and they're talking about him, and they find out that he was in prison for 4 years for selling marijuana.
Yeah.
Which is very much excessive, but
yeah.
And that he got out, I think they said like 9 months ago, I believe.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
And Cosgrove,
less than a year.
Cosgrove even said that like times have changed. Like hopefully that wouldn't happen again, but
Yeah.
And then I forget how we got to it, but then we both wrote, "Oh look, another chase scene."
I forgot what happened. They're literally chasing every episode. They're chasing.
What they do?
Shaw are chasing someone. I need a blanket. Cosgrove and Shaw are chasing someone every episode.
Oh, they're going like through this like farmer's market trying to chase this guy. Yeah. Oh, we both got our 6 blankets again.
We always do.
Anyway, Cosgrove and Shaw are chasing after this guy. And Shaw accidentally like scares this woman who had similar shoes to the guy they were chasing after. Like, he even, like, uses, like, deep, scary voice, and the woman was like,
Yeah, it's a
and
whole
he's like,
chaotic
"Oh,
scene.
sorry." Same shoes. So the guy they were chasing after, his name is Jordan, and he's like, "No, no, I'm good, I'm good." And then they find drugs on him, so they arrest him.
Yeah.
And then they have to go tell the mother, the wife and daughter of Derek that he was dead. And the daughter was heartbroken, basically. She said, "I just got him back." Um, the the wife and daughter are currently at a um shelter
Mm-hmm.
because the wife's current boyfriend has a temper and is abusive. Of course, he didn't see it. At
Yeah.
first I thought it was gonna be the current husband, but then they found out from investigation that um and from a clip that they showed us, a sneak peek that they gave, that the defendant is white.
Yeah. There was like a
Um,
camera, but they were like kind of mostly you couldn't really see them for
yeah.
real, but then you kind of could. Anyway.
So the from that, like, the camera footage that Violet was looking through, the perp has a distinct ring,
Mm-hmm.
and then they find out from the ring and everything that he was at a dispensary. Um, and the scene is so funny. Cosgrove is like looking at all this stuff in the dispenser, and he holds up like this vial, and he's like, "You can drink it now." Which I thought was hysterical because yes,
Please.
apparently you
It's
can.
funny how they have like people who are older and they're like we're showing their age. They're like
Yeah, like these older people looking at all this stuff in the dispenser, they're like, "What?"
definitely shows their
Um,
age and it's hilarious.
and
This
so
picture I was supposed
they
to look
are
good at.
interrogating the suspected perp's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
They find out that they went to dispensary together, but they're also at prep school. And
Cringe.
that
Sorry.
he has a medical marijuana card. And Shaw says they're giving out medical marijuana cards to prep school seniors.
Please, there's so many
Um,
complexes. So
yeah.
bad ideas.
Um, we find out that the kid that they're looking for, his name is Jesse Erickson. Um, and he is, when they have to go arrest him, he
Mm-hmm.
is from a very typical rich white family because of course.
Yep, that's how it be
And
in
then
this establishment.
they hired a black defense lawyer
Yeah,
to make it seem like,
no one wants
for
to look like
obvious
this.
reasons, the guy who died was black.
Yeah,
Hire a black defense lawyer so you don't look racist.
yeah. I was like, nobody wants to look a racist unless you actually want to be, but
Yeah, yeah. Um, and he's put out on $2 million bail after Sam is in arraignment with him. I
yeah.
forget what dress it was, but I said Sam's dress was cute.
Ooh,
Anything she wears is
it
cute,
was really
so
cute. I mean, yeah, I remember it in my head, but I
it
don't want to
was.
describe it. Sorry, y'all. It's been like two
Do you remember
weeks.
what color it was?
It was black. It was like
Okay.
I don't even describe it, but it was real cute.
Anyway, um, the daughter of Derek
Yeah.
is talking to Sam, and she's like getting really upset because she's like, "Great, he's rich, he's white, he's going to use money and make this all go away, and I just want
Yeah.
justice for my dad." And Sam
Because it's a realness.
says,
Sad.
and she's like, her voice is already cracking, and she says, "Losing a family member is a pain like no other. It just never goes away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do everything I can to honor his memory." And then we go to a
No
Noel
one.
Lamb scene
I
that
love
made
no
my
one.
heart go pitter patter. Um,
Mine too. Mine too.
Sam is in her office, and she's looking at this bouquet of yellow flowers, and she's tearing up, and no one is walking by and sees her crying, and like turns around and checks on her, and I'm like,
No,
ah.
no way. I'm hurt. Or like no loneliness,
So we
no?
find out. Where'd you go? I only see your icon.
Oh, I'm still here. I didn't go anywhere. I was keeping on.
But since the camera is not on.
Oh, I know it's not on. Oh, it's fine. Oh no, not
Oh.
that. Sorry. You know that? Nope, that's the floor. You know how like maybe you don't haven't had it on, but like there's this setting they added to MacBooks when they did iOS 14 where you could use your phone camera as your MacBook camera. But for some reason, if I like it auto does that, and like you can't use the front camera, you can only use the back camera. So like, oh, I mean, I forgot to turn my camera back on, so I was trying to do.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm still here. I didn't go anywhere.
Okay, so yeah, they're talking about the Nolan. We're talking about the Nolan scene.
Hmm.
And we find out that Sam's parents sent her the yellow roses on the anniversary of her sister's death.
Hmm.
Um, because they were her sister's favorite flower. Tear.
Real emotional. Was
Um,
that at home? No, I was
again,
at school once. When
if
I was
you
here.
don't remember or you aren't familiar what happened to Sam's
It
sister,
was like the first episode. They talked about the first episode and
it
then
was
never
the first
notched it again
episode
until
they
right now.
mentioned it. And they haven't really talked about it more in depth until now. Sam's sister was unfortunately raped and murdered. The police knew who did it. The family knew who did it, but there wasn't enough evidence for them to arrest the
Yeah.
person who did it. So
You mentioned like the first episode and then never again. So
it still makes me angry. I'm so
come on,
pissed.
come on. We talked about this in Law and Order. Like, give
I
your
hate
character
it.
some personal plot points. You talked about this.
Like I know, like it's
Not the main character, main sense of the show, but
yeah,
I could have
like
a little
so.
more, please. Just a little sprinkle makes me feel good. So,
Okay, anyway,
sorry, you don't
then
know
we
that
get a
shit.
scene where Jack, Sam, and Nolan are talking about the current case, and they're like trying to figure out if they should make a deal. And at one point, and Sam was like, "Why? Because a rich white kid did it." And I was like, "You go."
Mm. Yeah.
And then, um, Jack tries to say something. Jack or Nolan tries to say something, and Sam was like, "If he was a black kid, we would not be having this kind of conversation." Um, we then find out that the defendant wants to change his plea. He's changing his plea to not guilty by reason of mental insanity, cannabis intoxication, which Sam and Nolan are like, no way that's real.
You're like, no.
Well,
Well,
they call in they call in like a doctor, and he's like, actually, it
technically,
can
this is
be,
a valid excuse. You
which
know.
I was surprised about, but yes. So apparently, if it's like your first time
You get
taking
high enough.
cannabis and you take like high amounts, it can mess with your brain chemistry and cause you to do crazy things.
Yeah.
But now they have to argue whether or not murder is one of those crazy things.
Yep.
Um. Then they have Jack, Sam, and Nolan have a conversation again. Um.
Hmm.
Sam and Jack both see murder too. Nolan does not. So Nolan says, I don't see murder too, but if you do, I think Sam should take over. I'll
Hmm.
support her. I'll support her the best I can.
Yep.
And then he looks right at Sam and says, this is very similar to your sister's case. You should take over. So
Hmm.
Sam is now first chair.
Yes,
But
it was a great moment.
I still don't get really how exactly this has to do with her
I
sister's
don't
case.
either. I don't know.
No.
It didn't make a lot of sense for
Like
them
I
to say
thought
that argument,
if
but
it was
okay.
gonna be a case related to her sister's case, it would
You think it would
be
have been like,
a rape and murder. Not
we would thought it was just a murder.
I don't know what this has to do with her
And
sister,
what,
but
because I feel like they maybe there's something missing where could have explained more, like maybe the person who killed her sister
I
maybe
mean,
was like
possibly the only
intoxicated.
other thing that it could
That's one thing to
be is
think
that
of. Yeah,
a rich white
there's
kid is
literally
the one who
no
did this.
explanation for real. There's not really
Unless
an
a rich
explanation.
white kid did this to Sam's sister, that's about all I got.
Yeah, there's not really
Anyway, so Sam is first chair for the first time. Yay!
yeah.
And then we go to trial. And Sam is actually starting to kick butt.
She pops off. It's so
So
good.
she's interrogating
I want the
Jesse. And then I forget how exactly brought it up. But they were mentioning like insurance or liability. I don't fully remember what it was.
Oh, I know it was 2 weeks in.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks
I
ago.
think
This
they
is what
would have been.
happens when I think it
I
had
think it
something to
was.
do with him as looking into insurance for his
Yeah,
marijuana,
something like that.
possibly. It
I
was
don't really know
something that
honestly.
was negative towards him.
I think
And I'm like,
he
I think
wanted
it was a good
basically.
idea because it went. Sorry, say that again.
It might have something to do with the fact that like to pay the family some
Oh,
money
yeah,
for
I
killing.
think so,
Yeah, and
maybe.
that was it. It's been a long
Maybe.
time now.
Either way. Anyway, the insurance point that she brought up further proves that, like, this is more murder than
Yeah, it
cannabis
had to be if
intoxication.
you're trying to pay insurance claims, it was gonna be like you did this and you
Yeah.
or not.
And
You're
at this
admitting
point,
you did this.
the kid is, like, crying,
Yeah.
apologizing profusely. But also the jury is starting to see that maybe this is possibly more than murder, but also
Mm,
this poor kid is crying.
mhm.
Sam goes back to the table and she looks um right at Nolan and whispers and she says, "Went too far, didn't I?" And Nolan says, "Not necessarily."
Mhm. He was a
Um,
supportive boy.
Not necessarily. We still have a few jurors in her corner.
Mhm.
He said, and then later they have this conversation
Mhm.
in her office. Um, and he says, Nolan says, "You're doing great." And Sam says, "Be honest." Nolan replies, "I am. You're doing great." Then Sam replies, "Last time I tell you to be honest."
And I was like, you're very sweet. Yeah.
Then they get into this conversation of
It
like
gets a little into a little scuff. Yeah.
why Sam thinks this kid should go to prison. For basically like murder too and everything. Um,
Yeah.
and Nolan eventually says, "I don't understand all this anger. Why are you hell bent on ruining Jesse's life?"
Mhm.
Um, I forget what Sam says, but then Nolan goes on to say there's a similarity on paper to Jesse and the man who. Then he stops because Sam looks at him with like
The
a
sad tears.
wide-eyed, sad, teary
Yeah.
expression, which I
Yeah.
think. Look, if this is the only similarity you're going to get between her sister's case and this case, but it basically
Yeah.
said that, yeah, on paper, the person who did this to
Yeah.
Sam's sister is rich,
Yeah.
white, money,
Yeah.
came from
Execution of the
money.
plot didn't go as well as I thought it was going to do, but we'll get to that. Sorry.
Yeah. Uh, and then he stops and he's like, "I'm sorry, I was just trying to help." And I think that was the end of the scene, and then he
It
leaves,
was.
and I'm just like,
It gave me real bad.
uh,
It gave me real Barson vibes, like real bad. The way he like that like softness, that the same look, that same like
yeah.
look that
I think
Raphael
a
gives
lot of
Olivia
people,
and gone, maybe gone. At the door, he's looking at her. He's like, "Are you
yeah.
okay?" That look, that's the same look that Nolan gave Sam. The "you okay" look.
I think a lot of people think that Nolan, like Barbara at the beginning, was very hardened, didn't really have a soft spot.
Yeah,
This scene proves that he's got a
yeah,
softer
yeah,
shell than he lets on.
yeah.
Um,
Sorry.
we just need more of
We're
it.
gonna have a whole
Um,
conversation about how Nolan was very similar to the early Barson, but well, that's another day's task.
yeah.
Sorry.
And then we get a scene where
That we
Sam
weren't
is
expecting.
visiting
It's
her
very good.
mom.
Yeah, we didn't
We
expect
meet
this.
her mother. We
Somebody had to,
don't know what
yeah.
her name is, but
Nope, didn't they were
we
just
meet
saying
her
we were
mother.
close. Sam's mom.
And we see
She's
Sam looking at these photos of her and her sister, which is I love this behind the scenes thing
yeah.
those pictures actually Odelia and her sister in real life's pictures.
Yeah.
So I love that they did
that's what
that.
they use for the perfect little touch, little Easter egg.
Sam's talking to her mom about her sister, and she says, "I thought it'd get easier."
And her mom
And
made
then
her
we
some
get
tea.
a
It's
full
real sweet.
reveal that yes, again, the police never arrested her sister's rapist, and Sam hates that he's still out on the street. Same here. I'm mad too. I want more of like what actually happened and why he never could get arrested and what happened during that and after that. And if there's ever a chance that he could possibly still get arrested.
It'd make a great episode, but one day.
And then so her
Just
mom
saying, if they
says
don't
to
do
tell
it,
her,
we'll do it
tells her,
ourselves. We'll take the little information that we have, the tiniest information that we have, and make it good.
and then her mom tells her to remember the good things and the good memories about her sister. We finally found out the sister's name. Her sister's name is Christina. So Sam and Christina Maroon.
Yeah.
Anyway. Then paired with Sam takes everything from the case and the evidence to
there's more to the conversation. We just write it all down. It was a good conversation. Go watch the episode.
Nolan's conversation with her and her conversation with her mother, and she decides that yes, she knows what she has to do, and she pleads Erickson out to Man 2. And Nolan and then her and Nolan have this conversation at the end, and she's like, I didn't think that's what you want to do, and she's like, yeah, I figured it out. If this law thing doesn't work out for you, you should think about becoming a psychiatrist. And then they have this basically like the end of the episode, and you made this, and I wrote this line out thing. I was like, the way they looked at each other at the end of the episode. And you said it was very much Barson of them. Agreed. They're both looking at each other with like happy smiley faces. Come on, NBC and if it is right freaking there, just do it.
Come on. I told y'all.
Go do it.
I'll drop anything you can get it right. Just saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we give this episode?
3.5. I mean, the reason why is because it failed the execution of the plot line they gave.
We still don't fully get why this case has anything
we're
to
less than
do
a
with
minute,
Sam.
so Zoom's about to go boom. But yeah, it failed the execution.
I don't remember what the promise for Law and Order next week, so or this week. I don't remember
right now in like 3 days. Because this will go by the time you watch this, it'll be tomorrow. But
I don't remember. I just know there was a promo, but I don't remember what it is.
Zoom's about to go boom. It's called Almost Famous. We're gonna watch it real quick, and then when we come back, we'll talk about it.
It's like I remember now. It's like this influencer who's like telling all these people
they killed some people. They got killed some people. They killed someone. Hold on. Let me find out if they killed someone. I think they did.
Put that out in the world.
Okay.
Once we get to it.
Almost Famous. So it's about. We're back. We get to it. So Almost Famous is. Oops.
You're like I see. I didn't hear you, but
camera. Camera work better. Camera be better than this. Come on, MacBook. You cost too much to be acting stupid. Like Zoom.
Okay,
ever since Zoom updated, the camera just got worse.
Okay.
But
anyway, okay.
Almost Famous. So there's this influencer, and he like pays people this big amount of money to go do ridiculous things. And one of them is like climbing a mountain, and then one of the people falls off and dies. The camera's frozen again. I know the camera's frozen again. So the problem is, who is responsible for this action? And this is why they're going to court. Yeah, that's the trailer. And that's when no one says blah. Anyway, here we go.
Yeah, the summary says after a teenager is killed, Cosgrove and Shaw discover what lengths kids will go to these days to become internet famous. Price and Maroon take a risk to go after who they believe is the real criminal in the case, but wind up back where they started.
Yikes. Okay.
Interesting.
Yep. Here we go. It's time. Okay, so it says for you time. Oh, okay. Actually, I like the episode. That's for you time.
Paused
24.
again.
This camera is stupid. Come on, MacBook, do better than this. Anyway, I'm gonna continue speaking as I fix this. 24:11, Soldier Up, which picks off immediately.
Yeah,
Soldier Up picks
immediately
up
where we left off.
right
So the
after.
last line that Olivia says in the last episode is "Remember me," and then we pick up right back where we left off,
What was the
and the
episode
kid is
called?
like,
How did I forget what last week's episode was called? What was it called?
yeah.
No, the week before, what was it
Jumped,
called?
jumped,
Jumped in, yeah,
jumped.
jumped in. I don't know why I could freaking remember jumped in. Jumped in, soldiered up. Okay, sorry. Soldiered
Okay,
up, it comes right after, like they took like a little clip to remind you of what happened, but it's immediately into
and then we
remember
get the
me.
"Remember me" line again, and the kid looks at her and says, "You're the white lady who shot me."
Yeah.
All right.
And
She said,
you're lucky
Olivia
it wasn't
replies,
your
"You're
head.
lucky it wasn't your head."
And I was like, Well,
Lucky
honestly,
wasn't
he's
your
like,
head, Olivia.
well.
And then Duarte is there, and they're having this little conversation, and Duarte started speaking in Spanish. And in Spanish, he said, "You can't trust this crazy white lady. She has one of those bleeding hearts that wants to save the world," which is hilarious. But also, everybody immediately went on Twitter and was
They were
like,
like, hey,
"Did they forget that Olivia speaks Spanish?"
My mom was like, what if it was just I think my mom was like, I remember that. My mom was like, what if it was just a thing to make the kids think that Olivia didn't knew what they were saying? Because Olivia clearly did.
Olivia speaks 5 languages.
Yeah, I guess it was so that the kid would trust Duarte. So that's why she didn't act like she acknowledged that she knew what he was. That's why she didn't acknowledge that she knew what they were saying. But she clearly does know it.
Yeah.
She
that
clearly
makes
knows
more
it.
sense than my theory of I thought it was Portuguese, but then I was like, no, they probably just pretended. So, because
it's because Olivia's very fluent in Spanish.
So
anyway,
they find out that the kid is 15.
Yeah. Yikes.
And that he didn't want to join BX9, but
No.
BX9
They kind of like
him.
They like hang around schools and stuff.
Found him. Hang around schools, tried to recruit him. He didn't want to. So they raped his mom and threatened to do it again if he didn't join, if he didn't soldier up.
Yeah, that's what they call it, soldier up. So
forced him into the game.
Yeah, they just find soldier up as like you become a member with all the perks of BX9. If you saw this camera,
there's
all kinds of whack. Yeah.
So after that, Olivia and Duarte are having this conversation. I think it's Olivia and Duarte. And Olivia says, "You're just trying to protect me from self-sabotaging denial that like she doesn't like herself." And then Duarte is like, I need to show you something so you know how serious this is.
Yeah.
And then they transition to the most sickening, shocking like thing that I think they've shown on the show. Even more so than
we've seen all kinds of bodies and all kinds of whack stuff. Like
things. All the Lewis crime.
This is still all kinds of bodies being dismembered and burnt and all things.
This is the top.
Yeah, that's pretty high on the list of crazy things I've seen on this.
I still think it's the top. So they go to Olivia. So Duarte takes Olivia to this tree in the forest. And she looks at it, and she's like, her jaw is dropped. She immediately starts staggering because she's never so seen anything.
Yeah, she's never seen anything like. If you don't know,
you go watch this episode.
Slightly less.
Let's trigger warning.
Yeah. Let's say there are many pairs of undergarments on a tree. That's the best family-friendly words I can describe what is out there without saying what is the one.
Powerful.
It's many. It's like hundreds. That's a lot.
It's many. Yeah,
undergarments on a tree.
On trees. So Olivia is like staggering, shaking, everything.
Yeah.
She couldn't even believe it. She eventually looks at Duarte and says, "Rape is the weapon of war." Yeah, and then the big
blood curdling scream.
before is from that.
Yeah,
and then so we
they
get
said also said she improvised that scene.
Yeah, that was all Mariska.
Yeah, she
Mariska
improvised
was
that part, and I was
trying to think of a way that Olivia would fully react to that,
respond to
and she thought
that.
the scream was the best, and honestly, yeah.
Yo, it's an acting piece of genius right there. It's top tier.
Yeah.
Some top tier Mariska right there. Top tier. Anyway.
Yeah. And so then we get we transition back to the Bronx SVU.
The Bronx. They're doing better than they were.
And Finn is talking with Bruno and Shirlish, or we find out her first name is Tony. And Finn and Bruno are talking about her. And Finn describes her as some kind of velvet house cat, which is funny, but also where does that come from?
Because
And
she didn't want to go out when they had stuff to do. They had to go do something, and she was like, "You guys can go," and they were like.
And then Bruno describes her as she's going to be both of her bosses one day. And I was like, ooh, okay. So then they get the call and then they need to go to see this tree. And we find out that there's over 100 pair of underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Undergarments, sorry.
Well, there's more than just undergarments, that's why I said undergarments, but
Muncie is pissed.
Yeah.
Because Duarte says that he's known about this for a really long time. And Muncie turns right around and he's like,
she's
and
mad.
I wrote down this quote because she was pissed. She literally she looks right at him, nearly pushes him over and says, "A rape tree?"
Yeah, she was mad.
You didn't tell me about this?
It's been like 18 months. It's been a long time.
And he says, he calls it a recruitment tree. Like, so this is where I said that Muncie has a temper.
Yeah.
But it's
justifiably
worthy.
angry.
It's
She gets
justified.
justifiably angry. Sometimes it doesn't
figure
end.
out when to get angry. This is one of these times when she is justifiably allowed to get angry.
Yeah, this was crazy.
So Duarte knew about this tree for a year and a half.
Yeah.
What the frick, man?
He was just like, don't tell anybody about this because we need to catch PSI. Because
and then Olivia
like, the sexual
sees
part
like
of it isn't our problem.
How upset Muncie is about this, and then she realized that while Muncie was in the gang unit, like because she was very much the only woman in the gang unit, she is the one who would talk to all the gang bosses' wives and daughters and girlfriends. She had her own little like girl gang from it. And now she's finding out some of these women that she was helping have been affected by this. And yeah. So
also, you mentioned BX9's been around a long time. Anyone put that out here before we move on. BX9's been around since 1321. Learning.
Yeah, and we'll touch base on like how serious this is in a little bit.
Yeah.
They give us a bit more information before we got to the big realization of this episode. So we go talk to this boy's name, the boy that Olivia shot, I believe. And we found out his gang name is Fugazi. I think then they're having this like big debrief. I think Olivia is talking to Muncie.
Yeah, they were still outside. They hadn't gone.
Oh yeah, Duarte is trying to talk to. Like Olivia's talking to the Muncie. Duarte speaks and says, "Captain, I'm talking to her, not you, because this is very much like this is something they both need. This is personal to them." Yes. And they find out that apparently this is a crime that is against women and children. And And Olivia very much, again, tells Duarte what she's been trying to tell him all along, that sexual violence is gang violence, which is very much true. It, like Olivia said, this is basically their weapon of war.
Yeah.
So Olivia and Muncie go to meet with one of Muncie's, like one of the women from her girl gang, who
They're kind
was
of like CIs, but not CIs.
Yeah, one of the victims of BX9 that never reported anything because her brother is currently in the game.
Yeah.
So they talked to her, basically said the same thing that the boy who got shot did, that he was running around his school. The boy did not want to join. He was very much a good kid. But then when the sister was walking home from work one day, she was cornered by a member of BX9. They raped her. Told the brother, said if they didn't want it happen, if he didn't want it to happen to her again, he would join BX9. So he did. And the girl, her name is Maria, says when they were done, this line broke my heart. Like, she says, when they were done, they stole more than just my smile.
They like pushed her into her car.
Yeah.
And
when they were done, they stole more than just my smile. And so that is when the realization hits the group that this is how BX9 recruits its members. They find a boy, any random boy. If he doesn't want to join, they go sexually assault their mother or their sister or their girlfriend and say, if you never want it to happen again, you will come join the game. And it's basically multiple lives ruined by one sick, twisted act. And you brought up one example, and I had thought of another example of how this has been going on for a long time, but we didn't know until now that
I didn't connect the pieces until I was watching.
So you can say your example. And then
the first one is from season 13, 21. I believe it's called Learning Curve. I can't remember if it's Learning Curve or not. But Learning Curve. It is about the beginning of the episode. It is Munch is talking to Ken about. He's talking to Ken about because Ken is nervous about telling Finn that he has a fiance about Alejandro. And so he's like, your dad's gonna support you. It's gonna be okay. You know, they're having that conversation. He leaves, and and then like they go. I don't know what Alejandro's do. I can't remember now. But then the people in the people in BX9, they like snatch him up and throw him in their van, and then they take him to some place, and like they're recruiting a kid, and the kid is told to assault him to join the game. And it ends up being really bad. That's the one I was thinking of because I recently watched that episode because I'm just starting 14.
My example with Betrayal Climax,
you're right.
The like Romeo and Juliet-esque episode. So the kid that is in BX9.
He was in BX9 too. You're right.
He was in BX9. His name is Manny. And he has like this girlfriend who is white and goes to a prep school. She basically Manny's still in like the lower levels of BX9. And he doesn't really want to be part of the game. It's just his brother was part of it. Now he is. And his gang members want him to do something big. And he failed. I think the thing behind it is he fails. Or it doesn't go well.
Something goes wrong.
And then he goes to his girlfriend's house to hang out. 3 of the BX9 members break into the house and gang rape his girlfriend in front of him.
Yeah, that's
if you read the title, you'll kind of understand another bigger part of the episode. And basically, the whole thing is it's Manny going to testify against the gang members for his girlfriend, or not, because they could possibly kill him. And that's just the other example of how BX9 will take. It makes sense on why their motto is "We take what we want," because it's what they do. No matter what, they take what they want. We want somebody in our gang. We're gonna go assault their family member, take them, so that we can get this person into our gang and grow our ranks even further. It's very much a sickening, disgusting thing. Okay, that's my
yeah. We had to like give the background and stuff
right now.
Because we need to talk about that.
Okay, what happens next?
It's a little scene. They had to go.
Oh yeah, they have to go arrest these guys.
Yeah.
2 more guys from from BX9, and they're like, "What did this guy do?" And Bruno's like, "Oh, he robbed a church."
He's sacrilege and bugbear. But go arrest sacrilege and bugbear.
Yeah, and they all have these weird ass nicknames too.
And we're like, who had to write this in the script? Who created it? Like,
and he's like, he robbed a church, and Finn was like, adorable. And then they're trying to figure out who's gonna go in first to like.
He's so fun.
Arrest these guys. And Bruno says, "Age before beauty," and Finn replies, "Okay, moneybags." Then we transition. They arrest him. They get him. They get them. They bring him to interrogation. Oh yeah, somebody got shot. So they have to go to the hospital and make sure he's okay. Yeah. What? Yes. Yeah, that's what I was. And then Olivia is there to like make sure the guy that they just shot and arrested is okay, but also making sure that the kid that she shot is okay. And then we finally get
we see the caressing the
Sunny is back. Sunny is back. You don't get any honeymoon reference, but literally the first thing Olivia says to him is, "How's Amanda?"
And I was like,
and Sunny says, "Grading papers. You know what that means? No machetes, no black eyes."
I was like, he knows what happened.
I was like,
there, and I was like, he knows what happened. I said, oh.
So he knows. They all know. That's good. They know.
Please, sorry. The piece we worked on, like the piece we worked on that we haven't published yet, that we wrote with a friend, that made this way better than they made it on the show. But anyway, sorry. Personal tangent. One day we'll finish that. Sorry, there's so many drafts. That's ridiculous.
Anyway, and then Olivia replies, "But paper cuts are a bitch."
I mean, they are.
That's funny.
Hand sanitizer in your paper cut.
It is. And then Sunny is trying to talk to Olivia, and Olivia's like, "I don't want any lawyer stuff right now." And this is
something about
our friend Steph. Our friend Steph says it all the time, that Olivia and Sunny's friendship is one of the most underrated ones on the show. Really is. And this line proves it, because he says, "Then, as your friend, you're protecting this kid. Why?" And then they have this whole conversation of why Olivia is protecting this kid. It kind of
reminds me a lot, saying as your friend, that reminds me a lot of us, Final Call at Friendly's Bar. When they have that conversation. Yeah, that gave me a little moment in the final. Okay. Sorry.
So we get this whole, then we get the whole group back in the Bronx precinct, which is why we're all like, why does the precinct look bigger? Because it was the Bronx one, not SVU.
Yeah, they changed
not Manhattan. So then we find out that there is up to 20 open rape cases led directly to BX9 from the evidence on the tree. Yeah. Shirlish suggests they use the green light on Liv for evidence. So
Yeah.
basically, they want
Because
Liv
Olivia
to
was like,
go
if you
talk
got something to,
to
because they were saying something, Olivia's like,
yeah.
you have something to say, and she was like, well, the evidence we do have is a green light on an SVU captain, and there she was like,
And then Sonny's like, it's basically the only lead we got right now.
yeah, we have
And
nothing.
then Finn says, you know what they say, Liv, if 3 people tell you you're drunk, you're drunk. Basically, yeah. That's it we're gonna do. And then she and Duarte go to talk to Oscar Papa, and they have this conversation like in the car
They weren't
or
trying
like
to. They weren't supposed to be originally talking to Oscar Papa.
oh
They
right,
were leaving,
they were
and then
leaving to go talk to
somebody, a victim or somebody, because
yeah Maria. They're gonna go talk to Maria again. Oopsie,
yeah,
sorry.
because
Yeah,
Muncie called and was like, hey, do you think she's getting a little scared? Go talk to her.
yeah. Do we think she'd be? They're trying to figure out if Maria will testify
Yeah.
to her rape. Anyway, um, and then Duarte says your street name, aspirin, because I keep getting a headache every time you're around.
That's what the kid says because he says that's what
Oh
the
yeah,
kid
that's
says
what the kid says.
because she says
And then
because Olivia knows her
Olivia says,
street
I'm
name.
basically a member because your gang members jumped me in.
And I was like,
And then she also says, I am a mother. I know what that kind of love is like, and it's tougher than you think.
did we skip something? Oh no, we didn't. No, we didn't.
No, I would have died for my son, but I want to live for him. And they brought the kid's mom. We found out
We got
his
his
real name was
name.
actually,
Yeah,
and he's like full on crying because he said he hasn't seen his mom
in a long
since
time.
BX9 did what they did to her because he didn't want them to hurt her again.
Yeah.
And he starts crying and he's crying in Spanish and he says, well, the translation says, my instrument made me do it. He told me to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
So then they have to go find Maestro. And it's basically, I think it's possible. I think this in Maestro is like this undercover cop because he's like telling Olivia to punch him,
No, I don't think that. I think
which
he
is
was
the
just like,
scene we get.
no, that's not what it. Because he later says he's like, there's only
Oh,
two
right.
ways
He's
out of.
like,
No, he's
punch
not.
me so I don't die.
Yeah, he's like,
Because I think he got
it's the
arrested.
witness box, or he's like, it's the witness box or the wood box, and they were like,
Yeah, so he's like, punch me, please punch
that's
me.
later. You're skipping
Which
the.
is,
Let's go get there. You're gonna get there later. You're jumping too
I'm
ahead.
going in order.
That's not in order. That's way later.
No, I'm going in order of what's on the
Okay.
dock.
Okay. Okay. I was like, you're jumping ahead
I
talking about
promise.
some.
I'm not. I'm reading everything in order.
Uh,
Um,
okay. Yeah. The punch gets punched in the face was later. That's what I was like. You're jumping.
no, it's here. Anyway, yeah, because I'm reading everything. We always type it in order, so I'm reading it in order.
No, yeah. I feel like I was missing something.
Um, and so that's the
Mm,
scene that everybody was like full on talking about, like, oh my goodness, she's punching him like Elliot. No, she literally did it so
all
the
right,
guy
stop.
wouldn't die.
Yeah, relax. Full stop, everyone. We talk. Like, full stop.
And that's what my comment is for right now. Anyway, and Duarte says she says, what was that? Olivia replies, empathy. Duarte says, one of these days your empathy is going to be your undoing. And then we get them going to the restaurant to speak with Maria. And then they walk in and Olivia comes face to face with Oscar Papa. And she looks nervous.
I'm like, oh,
Um
like, because we
and
watched this scene a couple hours earlier because they posted this scene earlier. It was like a sneak
she
peek.
says,
We saw this scene.
I see you got my he says, I see you got my message. And then we see Maria in the corner in her like apron.
Mm-hmm.
Basically they got to her
Yeah, before
and they were
the
basically like,
police
okay,
came.
get her to come down here. Um you can tell she feels bad. And then Oscar Papa starts making comments about Olivia. Then again, this Oscar Papa is literally he's gotta be like in his 30s,
Maybe
maybe
younger than
40s.
that.
He's young.
Because he says he started BX9 in high school.
He's very young. Which is
He
like not what
started,
anybody expects.
yeah, basically. I thought he was gonna be an old man, but then I was like, dang, bro.
Yeah.
He started in high school. Like BX9,
he
that
looked,
bro,
yeah,
that's still like 10 years after that. So he's probably early 30s.
and he
Rough
says,
guesstimate.
um, he makes comments to Olivia. He starts saying, "Oh," he says, "You need some meat on those bones, Captain." And I am like,
Look,
"Grr, grr." Um, and they're talking about like how to get their gang to grow, and Olivia is like, "No, you have kids do it for you."
now he says she says something about him trying to kill her, and he's like, no, I don't
No,
kill
you have
people.
kids do it. No, you have kids do it for you.
Yeah, he's like, I don't kill people, and then she's like, no, you kids. Yeah, that's what one.
And then he says something about recruitment, and Olivia says, "Okay, how about systematic rape?" I was like, "Yep, that's exactly what
Yeah,
it is."
papa.
And Oscar Papa says BX9 is not a gang, it's a brotherhood.
And we're like,
I
we're
was
like,
like,
how are you defining
"Excuse
these
me?
terms?
What? Yeah, define brotherhood."
Please define these
Um,
terms for me.
and then he points to like Olivia's black eye and says, "Oh, that looked like it hurt. Do you need some ice?
And we're
Do
like,
you want some ice for that?" Like,
I really
and
can
then
keep
this is the
egging
kicker.
you.
This is the kicker.
I
We
know.
find out that Oscar Papa has a wife and a daughter.
Yep.
How the hell do you have a wife and your daughter and
Here's the
you're
thing.
telling
What
all
it
your
is.
guys to go rape women? What the frick?
Yeah, it's crazy going on in this establishment.
Mm-mm. Yeah, so yep, we find out these guys, Bugbear and Sacrilege, one of which was the man, one of which I believe
I don't know.
Sacrilege is the one
That's
who was shot and
yeah.
also raped Albert's mom
Yeah.
and to get him to join the game. Their
Yep.
DNA is connected to basically all of the rapes.
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
Not all of them. Most of them.
And then Bugbear is stabbed and attacked in prison. He's
They were
dead.
talking to him. They were asking him to take a plea or something. They were there with his lawyer, and he was like, "Bro, I'll testify." And then they're leaving, and then it goes on
Stabbed him.
lockdown. The prison goes on lockdown in like 2 seconds after they turn their backs. They were like, and then
He's dead.
and he's got stuff.
And so now I need to go talk to Albert again because that's basically the only
Person on their side
um
left. He's alive for
yeah.
now.
And so they're like, okay, I can't we can't bring Duarte. So Olivia brings Velasco, which is a perfect, which is actually a really good idea because
Yeah,
I forgot until we were talking about it that Velasco has gang ties
yeah. They wanted
from
him to join a gang
his
when he was a kid, and he was like, "No."
childhood. And they wanted him to, I believe they said they wanted him to kill like a guy who like snitched on them or something. And he's like, no.
He was really young
I
too.
forget exactly. The guy
I
was
remember.
bad. He did
It was
something
in
bad
Once
and they
Upon a
wanted him
Time
to
in El
kill him.
Bar, but we haven't watched that one in a while, so I don't.
So, um,
Anyway,
uh, and Olivia looks at Velasco to get her to come with him, and she's like, "Congratulations, you have just become my maestro.
hmm
You're the expert here on this."
yeah,
Um, and then we get a really awesome Velasco quote when he's talking to Albert of like why he should do this. And
is
how
it
he
in
knows that
Spanish?
he's not like this. It's in Spanish, but the translation in English is bad men. They thrive in the dark. I know you aren't one of them. I was like, I need more scenes of Velasco, soft Velasco, trying to talk to people like this.
hmm
Give it.
No,
Um,
this wasn't a question. It
so we
wasn't a.
find out um more information from Albert that the driver who works for Papa, the one that they had arrested earlier, said that boys could be soldiers if they killed Olivia.
Yeah,
His name is Benny Barris, and this is where we get the quote that you kind of touched on earlier. He basically said 2 ways that a BX9, the witness box or the pine box. I choose the former. So he chooses to testify.
Yeah.
Let's see
He'll
how
be
that
dead
actually
probably.
goes.
He'll probably not even make it to the witness stand, honestly. We're gonna be
Probably.
honest. We'll find out in like
And
3 days.
and they're talking about things. And he's like, McGrath is happy things are cleaning up. They got somebody, I think Duarte says this quote, but I don't fully remember.
No, there's Olivia.
And it says,
it's Olivia. She says,
oh yeah,
they're on
Olivia
the phone.
it's talking to like the Bronx people, I think.
No, she's
like,
saying that. No, she's saying that's to McGrath.
oh, she's like,
They're
you got the
talking on
DOJ out of your underwear drawer.
because he was all
I
like,
don't remember where this quote is from. Oh, but I
what?
thought it was funny. It was near the episode. I
Oh
think it was
yeah,
after she talked to
it's the last
and
thing.
Velasquez.
There's one last scene after that. So it's like Oscar Papa's like gone to see some woman or something. And he's coming back to get in the car because and Joe was the driver of the car and because he starts talking and he's like,
Oh
you're
yes.
not my driver, Maestro. And he was like, and he turned around with his gun and it was like, don't make any sense. She seems pretty pissed. And then Olivia's like,
And then Olivia shows up in the window and is very much pissed, and that's
yeah.
the
Then
end.
then they arrest him. They cuff
And
him
they arrest.
and they leave. The end. The end.
And then we get the
Let's rate
promo
the
that
episode. I'm gonna rate the episode real quick. Let's rate it real
right
quick.
3.5.
Yeah.
Actually, no, 4.
Yeah, I give it a 4. I was gonna say 4. It's pretty good. I don't dislike it. I like it. It was a good in between bringing the
I've
two
seen
parts.
worse.
We've seen worse. It brings the pieces together, but the last part, it brings the story together in a fairly good. It executed the plan very well.
Yeah.
The next
then
one
we
is
get to the promo.
it's called Blood Out.
The promo for Blood Out.
Oh,
started out okay.
geez.
We see Sunny and I think Olivia. They're basically talking about this case.
I'm gonna watch it real
They're
quick.
talking
And then I hate myself.
Papa.
I'm gonna have to hate
This is
myself a
going
little
to
more.
trial.
Yeah, I'm gonna hate myself a little more. I'm gonna watch it real quick.
This is going to trial.
She says,
And then there's literally this whole tagline in the thing, and it says, "She won't do it alone." And I'm like,
no, hold on, you're skipping something.
What?
You're skipping something. Before we get there, you're skipping something. You're skipping something very important. This one, Olivia says, "No one gets away with trying to kill my son."
Oh yeah, apparently someone's gonna go after Noah.
I know. So wait a second. I was stuck on that for the trailer and said, "Hold on." Okay, then it gets to she won't do it.
Yeah. And then does it have the tagline?
Yeah.
And then some reason
then there's an updated trailer after that, but I don't know where to find it because there's another trailer.
Won't do it alone. And I'm like, yeah, of course she won't do it alone. She has her squad. No, of course that's not who they're thinking of.
Oh my god!
And then we get Elliot's in this episode.
Wow, no.
We've been through. They decided you've had enough.
It's gonna end the arc like that.
Yep. And he's like, "Why did you call me? Why did you call me?"
Yeah, because that's in this updated version of the trailer. He says, "Why'd you call me?" Because he seems confused on why she did.
Yeah, we don't
There's
know.
a couple of extra things in the second trailer that we can't. I don't know where to find it at, but I seen of Noah in like a bodega.
Oh yeah,
there's that added in. There is why'd you call me? Because he seems to be confused on why she called.
Okay, and then
there's her drinking with Duarte. All those things are in the second trailer. There's a bunch of stuff.
And then we get this moment in the trailer that neither of us expected and did not want to see.
My eyes. I had to go bleach my eyeball that point.
And tried not to cry. It made watching organized crime very difficult because I was angry the rest of the episode.
The first 5 minutes, I think I don't remember. I think we were talking.
We were angry. So
we were talking.
Oh, fine, I'll say it.
Yeah, I'm gonna describe it because there's a bunch of theories. We're gonna talk about these theories. There's many.
So there's
my favorite one
of like Olivia hugging a guy. everybody thinks it's Olivia and Elliot hugging in his apartment.
Yeah.
And then we get the big close-up shot of their foreheads are touching.
Yeah.
Her hands are on his cheeks, and she reaches up near his ear, and her mouth is open, and that is the end of the promo.
I don't think
To
people
which
think
I
it's gonna
wrote
be.
in the doc in all caps, "What the hell?" And then I threw my phone.
I was sitting on my bed and I was like, "This is so."
I was like, stick to my stomach, because I was like,
yeah, we can focus. We're like, what is
every time I'm
this?
like,
I mean, we've done it as a
so
joke, but like
of
seriously,
course
we write yeah, we write
all
it
of
as terrible.
all of the EOs, and unfortunately,
Cannot
a lot of
escape
us
them.
all immediately jump to that it might finally be happening.
I don't think so. I
And
think it's fake. I think it's fake as can be.
we're all hoping,
Couple
at
of
least
theories.
we are,
There's a couple of
because I'm
ideas.
not gonna be okay with
One.
it.
Well, my theory goes into the other theory. Actually, one of them is because of the second trailer.
We're all thinking like, okay,
It
look,
happens.
fine. Look, you're gonna get a forehead touch. Fine, so be it.
Whatever.
But we think it's gonna be. The theory right now is that she's literally just gonna go whisper in his ear.
Yeah, I don't think she don't think she feels that way
I
towards him until kiss.
I don't know we don't know where the freaking forehead thing is coming from.
Yeah. That's not gonna be an episode because you never know.
I'm going to put this on the internet right now.
Yeah.
I can't deny that Chris and Mariska have some sort of chemistry. They wouldn't have been cast if they didn't have chemistry together. And look, does that scene in the promo show it? Yes. Do I still care about EO as a ship? No way in hell.
Yeah, they're in the trash.
I can still admit that I think they have chemistry without shipping the ship.
Yeah, we don't.
We're just kind of put it there. So yeah, do I think the forehead moment shows how much chemistry that the two actors have? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I want it to go any further than that? No, I do not.
Oh, what was I saying?
Okay.
Say finish your thought because Zoom caught us off guard.
Yes, Chris and C and M have chemistry. Yes. Do I think the forehead moment shows that? Yes. Do I want it to go any further than that? No. No, I do not. Okay.
Couple of theories.
Now
there is one.
The one big one.
No, not that
wait,
one. I have a couple
then we'll do the big
one. So one of them is because of the second trailer, it shows that like Olivia's been drinking. She goes drinking with Dorothy. That either one, she's having an intoxicated dream where she goes to talk to Elliot. One, or two, she actually does go and see she's in her very drunken state.
Oh my god! What if it happens and she wakes up right at that moment?
That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking. She's like, it's not real. It's a dream. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's it.
Please,
in my head. That's what I said. I don't think it's real. I think because it doesn't make logical sense at all. Like, what is Elliot actually going to do? Actually, he's not SVU, which isn't. He's not gang unit or not. BX9 doesn't really do organized crime stuff, so he's not really helpful. So what is he actually doing? Nothing besides moral support, I guess. But you can get moral support from somebody else who actually cares. You know, it's a whole nother place. Yeah. Yes. So those are the thoughts in my head currently. And then this theory that we got for Twitter. This isn't a theory. This is a thought someone had on Twitter.
This isn't even from one of us.
No, I got I got this from.
Didn't you say?
I got that from a EO.
Yeah, you said it came from an EO.
I did. I was in class and I was looking at because I have a burner, okay, where I look at EO tweets because I like looking for fun, but I don't want them on my account. So then I saw that when I said, "Oh, interesting thought there."
And then we're gonna take it and run with it.
I'm running. I ran at the door. I said, "Yo, you need to see this now."
You can explain. You can say the thing, and then I'll give an explanation.
Okay, so we were. Hold on, I gotta find it again. I have some screenshots. I'm gonna do screenshot EO tweets ever with actually. Okay. Okay. So So the first person tweeted, so they noticed because last year, was that a year ago? Yeah, that's about a year ago. The 500 episode where Olivia's sitting in the hallway. She's digging through the closet when she's looking. We're like, wait, where did this magical hallway come from? There's no way she can have an actual hallway in the middle of her apartment. It doesn't make any sort of logical sense. So, and then somebody compared that shot from the shot and jumped in where Olivia's sitting with the shotgun, not seeing, and we're like, it makes sense now. This person said, this tweeter said, I can't believe she's been living in an apartment for over a year. Everything I've written is a lie. And then this person we got this from India. And then they said, so she moved after Palsy came over. It was scary. Oh man, I'm an auntie again. And I said, you might be right. So we were kind of thinking, and then I said this to our friends. I didn't know people thought about this before I put myself out there on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking about it, and they were like, it makes logical sense because when Elliot showed up that time at her house, at her apartment, he was drugged and was undercover, and that puts her house, her self at risk, her child at risk, because maybe she just moved apartments to be
So
safe.
she moved for protection.
Yeah, and like
We're
that
running
makes
with
also
it.
it makes sense, and then also the fact that she went to Elliot and not had Elliot come to her house. Yeah, that makes sense in my head now.
Yep.
Even though she shouldn't have gotten Elliot in the first
Run
place,
with
but
it.
whatever. Is all good to say about jumping? I mean, not jumping. Anything else wild I have to say? I mean, so anyway, we
Oh,
don't
sorry,
think
I went to look at something and then the Ainsley video popped up again. I got
stop
distracted.
watching it. We're trying
I
to.
can't.
We're almost at the last show we gotta get through. The last show we gotta get through. So that's all
But
we have
she's
for
in, so it makes sense.
SVU. It was Soldered Up is pretty good. So the next one is we talked just called Blood Out. We talked about Blood Out, blah, blah. Anyway, bonus card. Excuse me. Is the infiltration game is one. It starts off right after they get Jamie. I mean not Jamie. That is Jamie, never mind. They get Jamie, they after the Jamie's able to get away from get out of the car and get away from that situation we left off. They left off in the chase scene, and that was just bam end. This is after they resolve the chase scene, and it's all good, and they go back to the precinct, I think. Right? Gallery.
Sorry. I got distracted, and this time it's not the Ainsley video. I
You're
promise.
trying. I can't do this without I don't remember half the things I talked about. The beginning of the episode. It's after the chase scene, and the chase scene ends, and then they kind of just pick up after that, and then yeah.
Hold on. Okay, wait. Yep. What?
It's after we're talking about
We're talking.
or when I was crying.
Yes.
The chase scene, or after the chase scene,
Right.
Yeah.
Chase scene. Basically, they I don't know. The bad guys get away, and they get Jamie back, and they're like, "What the heck were you doing?"
Yeah.
And yeah, they're all getting mad at him, mainly Elliot, and he's like, "Okay, you screwed up. We're taking you out. Now it's my turn."
Yeah, we're like,
And I made the point of Jet looks confused about Elliot going in because she's just
exactly.
like, "Why are you going?" She made us like, "What do you mean you're what? What do you mean you're going in? What?"
Who do you think he is? It didn't make any sort of sense.
And
He just wanted to.
I forget who says this line, but they're having this conversation. I think this is Raya's line, possibly, of
We didn't
what
say
the
right
next
on.
steps are.
We're
Because
kind of mad at the beginning
if
of this, so we
Jamie,
didn't take the notes at the beginning. We just were like,
if
whatever.
Jamie, if Jamie goes in, it's gonna, now that he's been talking to cops and stuff, it's gonna look bad. They can't
Yeah.
have him go back in, but they also can't if it they have to show that something happened to him. So they decide that they're just going to pretend to kill him.
Yep, and then recorded it.
Now the bad guys have to murder him.
Yeah.
So Elliot literally they make a video of Jamie on his knees pleading for mercy. To which
that's why I actually started paying
Elliot
attention because I was like, what just happened?
pretends to shoot him. And then they send it to Fernanda and the Miami gang to show that, like, what happened to him. And they do the video, and Elliot's like, all right, cool, everything's fine, I'll send it to the bad guy. And Jamie, without a word, takes off his wire, gets up from the ground, takes off his wire, throws it into Jet's hands, and Jet's like, I'll find out. So she goes inside, and Jamie is getting this, like, $200,000, like, marked bills for Elliot to use when he has to go talk to them, because he's going in as, like, a drug dealer or whatever. Because of course.
Because yeah.
And I just rewatched this conversation because I knew there was a conversation, but I didn't remember what happened in the conversation. Very key conversation, not only for canon, but for what we're gonna write. And
you're right.
You'll understand. So
I understand.
I'll read. So Jet is checking in on Jamie, and he's frustrated that this is what happened. And Jet's trying to reason with him, and she's like, "It's a smart way to get us back in." And Jamie replies, "It's certainly a way to get Stabler in." I was like, "Oh." And he continues, and he said he sighs, and he's just half upset, half ticked off at this point.
This is the first time that Jamie's seen Elliot do his little selfish game.
And also, this was Jamie's first big chance at an undercover operation or an organized crime.
Blew it by.
Now he doesn't even get a second chance. It's just taken away from him. And he says, this line hurt me when I watched it. I was like, oh. Because when we first started watching, I did not like Jamie. Now I love him.
We've worked a lot on this character. We've done some good stuff.
He says, I could have done it, Jet, but then he wouldn't be the guy. And Jet, like, stops for a moment before pausing. And I was like, hold on, before I keep going, we gotta talk about that. The fact that Jamie literally just arrived to organized crime maybe, like, not even a month ago.
Because organized crime's timing is weird. Their timing is weird. So we don't know what their timing is.
He's not there recently.
If it's roughly we was the episode after, it was 3-2. So it was if it's roughly the same time as SVU, it was September. Roughly September.
A few months
recently.
And he already knows that this big thing about Elliot, that Jamie very much so could have done this undercover operation. But if he did it, then Elliot wouldn't be the hero in this situation, and Elliot couldn't have that.
Yeah.
And Jet takes a second before responding, and she says, come on, it's not like that. You ditched your wire.
Hold on.
He ditched the wire so he could go save the woman that was getting kidnapped. But okay. And Jamie responds and says, you really think that's why I got pulled? And walks away.
Hold on.
And Jet is left thinking about what he has to say. And I'm like, please think about it, girl. Go, please. please start realizing that Elliot isn't all that's cracked up to me.
Yeah.
Like, out of all of the organized crime members, I honestly think, like, Jet would be the one who would realize that. Sure, does Elliot have his good moments? Yes, but I feel like she would see his bad moments more so than others. Then again, she's known for a really long time, so it might take a bit of time for that to happen.
Hold on.
So then, we transition to we finally see the big boss
Yeah.
of oh, no, we transition back to the precinct, and Elliot meets these detectives from Miami who are tracking this gang, and they're trying to get the big boss of the whole operation.
Yep.
And then we go to this little scene in the office. We meet the big boss, and this is a small little Easter egg from something that I watched. So, um, the boss, the boss's name is Duran, and he's carving this big turtle out of wood. So the actor who plays him, Tony Amendola, played Geppetto on the show on ABC called Once Upon a Time, which is like all these fairy tale. What would happen if fairy tale characters didn't have a happy ending, had to live in our world, etc. You should watch it. You would like it.
It's on my list.
Put that put it
Maybe
on
I
your
should
watch
get on
list.
it. Actually,
Anyway, so I like that was like the very first thing I noticed, that little Easter egg, that Geppetto, who, if you don't know, from Pinocchio, the wood carver. And so this guy, Duran, is also carving wood. So I thought that was a cool little Easter egg that they did. And I don't know if they knew that anybody would notice it, but I did. Anyway, um, he's talking with like the squad, and they're his not the squad, his gang, and Fernanda and the guy, Cristobal, and um, they're talking about like this new guy, like how Jamie's undercover persona. They show them the video, like how he's dead basically, and how they have the new guy that they have to work with. That new guy being Elliot, and his new undercover name this time is Vince Amaretti. And he's like this, I don't know, drug dealer or something. All right. And so Elliot is talking to Durant, and Durant says, "There's one thing I don't tolerate in this business, and that's disloyalty and snitches." And I was like, okay. And then they have this little stakeout scene of the squad, and Jet has binoculars, which I love, because Jet is all for one about technology, like high cutting edge technology. Like, she's called a payphone vintage, like old home movies vintage, and yet here she is with binoculars. So I thought that was cool. We have Fernanda. She's taking pictures of Elliot because she does not trust him. And then we get Elliot talking to Duran again, and he says, "I want to know what you care about, because the game looks for collateral." And there's this whole conversation, and I think one of them says, "There's nothing scarier than working with a man who has nothing to lose." It's like,
and then it's the opposite person says there's nothing scared than the pain, there's nothing to gain. And I think Elliot says something like that. I can't remember.
And then we get a transition where to Ayanna has to go visit the new deputy chief, and she walks in on him doing push-ups. I was like,
we're like,
okay. And before anybody like decides to start making comments about this or being weird about it, Ayanna is a lesbian.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna happen there.
It's just a very awkward.
Get it out of your brains.
Yeah.
If that's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
It is just awkward because she's just like, oh.
She's like, what did I walk into?
What did I walk into? Okay. It's like, oh, sorry. And they get in this conversation about work. And Yana is a little unsettled by like what he's saying. So she asked him, "Oh, you did sports, right? Division 1?" which is like the top league in like college sports. And I wrote, "I gotta know sports. Yay!" And the guy responds, "Tar Heels."
And we're like, it wasn't different the other day.
And then Ayana says, "I thought you went to Columbia." And so for anybody who doesn't know, the Tar Heels are the mascots or the team in North Carolina. So Columbia is in New York. So now he's got saying two different schools. So now Ayana's like,
red flags for like,
what's this guy's story? And so they go to talk about so that's the end of that conversation. And then Elliot is going to go do like this drug deal pickup, swap, whatever, with the gang from Miami. He walks into the bar, and he sees Cristobal like covered in like blood. He's like, "What happened?" And the detectives from Miami basically started ambushing the place and shot Cristobal right in front of Elliot.
Yeah, we're like,
and Elliot's like, "What the hell do I do now?" And so he has to go back to the prison. And he's like, "Okay, what the heck?" And he basically gets into this big argument with Jamie of like, "You were supposed to be watching these guys. What happened?" Jamie's like, I forget exactly what Jamie says, but he mentions something about Belle in regards to the situation, and Elliot immediately says, "Leave Belle out of this." Jamie replies, "Oh, I thought this was all about you." Elliot says something about Jamie not following the rules or whatever, and Jamie says, "Oh, and you always go by the book?"
And it was a very heated argument.
And Elliot said, "Don't call my experience ignorance or something other than that by the book."
But he says like it's Jamie saying, "Don't call my inexperience ignorant." I believe is what it is. We should start saying who said what, because we'll be like, who said that?
Oh, I know like certain things. I just don't remember what the quote is.
Yeah,
Let me
that
see if
was
I
the
can
book.
find the quote.
It's something
So
like that
basically,
because they're yelling at each other.
that's the one we didn't finish. So basically, Elliot blames everybody for this except himself. And then he pulls the Yunnins into the room that they're all like talking in.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm getting to the scene.
It's like it's something about like don't mistake it.
Before this, before the scene with Jamie, there's the scene between the deputy chief Elliot and Ayana that basically the deputy chief knew that the raid was going to happen, but
was acting all pissy because he's planning to do his plan.
The squad didn't know this, but he's like, "I tried to give you a heads up, detective, but you were in the field. I didn't want to break your cover."
Yeah, and then Elliot wants like all pissy piss.
And Ayana's like, "You should have called me." Hold on. So and then I'll get the quote from Jamie in a few minutes, but Elliot literally he freaking walks in this bureau like he freaking owns the place.
He just
strolls downstairs and he's literally looking at Jet and Reyes and he's like snapping his fingers and he's like or like going like this, gesturing to them, and he's like, break room.
Yeah.
And they look at him.
They clearly leave Jamie out of this conversation.
Okay,
he tries to very much clearly leave Jamie out of
I guess we'll go
like a teenage clip or something.
Him. I guess we're being summoned.
Unfortunately, thinks he has this power over his colleagues. Yeah. I mean, they're
All right,
doing.
hold on, I got to see. It's
Yeah,
coming.
this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's literally
Oh.
like, hey, break room, gesturing to them with his finger, and they're all are like looking at him, like, but follow him because
No,
I very
let's make
much
him mad.
believe that for for Jet, Wheelan and Reyes, that even if they don't agree with what Elliot is saying, they're caught between a rock and a hard place because compared to the rest of them, Elliot does have seniority. And it's like if you go against the Elliot Stabler, what is that going to mean for you? Like Jamie is finding out about this right now, but all right. So apparently the case is going to get thrown to the DEA. Probably it's like nope. I call BS on both counts. And he's asking Jet, phones track movements, right? And Jet's like, yeah, unless you turn it off, which no one ever does. And they're like having a whole conversation of like, where are we gonna find Duran?
Yeah. I'm trying to keep it silent because it's awkward.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I got another thing.
Yes.
So at the end of the scene, after they're all talking, because now that this is basically known as a DEA case, they can't really take it. Ayana is going to enter the room, and as soon as Elliot sees Ayana, he stops the conversation and leaves the room.
Yeah. I remember that.
Leaving everybody, like leaving Ayana, like wondering what is he doing.
Once
Also
again.
seeing her other 3 detectives standing there. He's he's trying to take over the squad room, and unfortunately Ayana doesn't see it, and I need her to put her damn foot down.
Yeah. Toxic behavior from Elliot.
And they all literally just did like a little moment, and they all looked at each other and like
What
did
do
a
we
little
do?
like side eye roll thing.
Yeah.
Take that. Take with that what you will.
Yep.
And then they're all
We're
looking
almost done.
over. Jet is tracking his phone.
Yeah. But,
All right, hold on. I gotta find this Elliot quote from Jamie Canal. It's pissing me off.
yeah. We're almost there.
All right, I'll let this ad load while we keep talking. Because I gotta finish up and go to sleep.
Yeah, we
Because I
gotta
don't
supposed to
know
go. We
what the
gotta
heck
finish
high
the
school is
episode.
gonna
We
be
would
tomorrow.
do.
Okay, and then Elliot is going to talk to
The bad guy again.
Duran.
Yeah.
And or no, I think this is when he goes to talk to Fernanda. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you know about loyalty? And she says it must be earned. And eventually he goes back to the like van, and Ayana says, well, that was like trying to watch you break a rock for 2 hours.
Like, please.
Which is hysterical. Which means, haha, even Elliot Stabler can't break this girl.
Yeah.
So they do what they should have done
He didn't use his suave technique this time.
hours ago. And they have Jamie go and talk to her. And Jamie, she sees him and she's like, I always knew you were a cop. And Jamie says, no, you didn't, or you wouldn't be here.
Exactly. He was pretty good.
So they get in this whole conversation of how Fernanda, on how Jamie did his research, and he's telling Fernanda that Duran has a daughter and a grandson.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going into this really gentle, caring tone,
Yeah.
which I didn't know he had before, and I absolutely love it. Wait, hold on. I got a quote comment on one of my old fics I gotta look at after. Okay. And Fernanda, she's like about Duran. He told me New York would be mine. It would be his gift to me.
And we're like, what?
And Jamie's like trying to comfort her, and I'm like, my heart. So then we have to go with the deal. Like, basically, Fernanda is wearing a wire and is working with the task force now. But she goes to meet Duran, and the first thing the couple does is kiss. And the squad is like, the squad and us were all like,
I'm confused. I'm confused. We're like, so is this? I was like, what is it? I was like, he's this kid's dad? Is this kid's granddad? But the kid doesn't know that.
And they get in this whole conversation, and like Duran is saying all these things, and eventually Fernanda gets angry, and she points a gun at him, and he's basically like, she thought would start a family, and she says
that's why I was like,
gets so angry and says, "You are no better than a snitch."
No.
And then shoots him. And then a little kid is in the doorway, and he's like, "Grandpa?"
The same little kid, the same kid from that's why I was confused. I was like, is he this kid's dad? No.
So Fernanda gets arrested. Duran has taken the hospital. Basically, we're done. That's the end of this arc, apparently. Literally, this whole like big thing. They said they were gonna
my boss dead. 2 episodes.
They were talking about it in like interviews and articles. They made it sound like this whole big thing, and it is like 2 episodes done.
Yeah.
And then we get the entire conversation at the end of the episode, which furthermore gets to our point that Elliot and Jamie aren't going to get along for a while. Because Elliot literally goes into this like,
he's in a little whiny mode.
Like his voice like changed, and he literally looks at Jamie, and he's like, "Oh, when it's your time, you'll be ready. When it's your time to go undercover, you'll be ready." And Jamie immediately turns back around and he says, "You made me look like a snitch, and the worst part is you enjoyed it."
I know. I was like,
end conversation. I was like,
"Oh,
you go."
Ooh. I want to use that for later. We're going to use this idea later.
We're going to use that line for so many things.
Put that in the back pocket for later, which isn't that much later because we're almost we have a chapter, then some stuff we have to do. Yeah.
Okay, and then what do we rate this episode?
Organized crime is just kind of.
I say
3 in the middle. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad.
Okay, next week should be
we
interesting.
Needed more Jet, of course. Let's bring some more Jet there. Sorry, that's about it.
Always.
Yeah,
next week,
Partners in Crime
is
not what people thought it was going to be.
Partner.
It was not what people thought it was going to be.
So the Organized Crime Bureau is going after the.
I'm gonna watch it one more time.
Man who killed Belle's partner 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're looking at the video.
And they did go back to Pearl and what's his name? Teddy. Teddy's in the trailer. I just realized it was Teddy. I said, oh.
And it says after learning.
They must be at the casino. The casino was ready, and they're at the casino.
Oh, they're all having a party.
They're at the casino. I was like, wait, it made sense now. I was like, why are they out? They're at the casino. We're almost done.
Oh my god, I'm
We're
freaking
almost
out
done.
so my classes are falling out. I just
We're
had the
almost done.
realization that if that's the casino and Jet is wearing that dress to the casino.
How long is it? Come on, Kelly, we're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost
Not
done.
gonna not stop freaking out
It's
about
my
this
nighttime.
until we see it on our screens, and then I'll
Yeah.
freak out about it because it was live in person. Anyway, the summary for next episode. After learning that an untouchable crime boss may have been behind her former partner's death, Belle enlists the task force to take him down. Sailor is recruited for a secret mission of his own. We don't know if it's the SVU one or what, but you know.
Well, they didn't advertise it as a
Didn't advertise it. They
like
just did the thing about
crossover.
Bella's thing. I, for one, hope Jet is angry about this because we know Jet cares about this squad and the task force a lot. Like, that's why she basically said, Sarge, when like Ayana was like, you should go to Italy. It's okay. And then she's like, Sarge,
no,
I don't want to go.
You need 6 minutes.
So I need angry Jet being angry and supportive of her sergeant. Thank you, please, and thank you.
Good stuff. Yeah, basically she wanna Yes. Come on. You have like 5 minutes because it's each 6 minutes on the timer.
I just thought of something else.
We're wrapping everything up in 6 minutes. Come on.
If it is the casino scene that she's wearing that dress, I don't care who it is or how small of a reaction it is. I just need one of the characters to stop and be like do like a double take of like, oh my god, she's wearing a fancy dress and her hair is done like that, and like basically one of the things that's like, who are you? What have you done with Jet? Type thing, but also be like them being like shocked, like, oh my god, you look good, type thing. If canon is going where I think they're going, I have a feeling I know who that person is gonna be. But hey, you never know. I have no idea what they're doing at this point.
There is
as long as I get somebody from the reaction of Jet being dressed, that's gonna be okay. Okay. Anyway, did you find the promo?
I watched. Oh yeah, I told you. I told you what it was. We talked about it. We just did. There was nothing else to that besides the casino.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
This is what happens when I get distracted by Ainsley.
5 minutes. We're wrapping up the show. We did a lot of writing.
We're trying to finish chapter 6.
It'll probably be done by the end of the week. Probably.
Hopefully.
Like we're inching. I mean like it's one scene.
Started trying to do a fic for Mariska's birthday today, and then life happened, so it's nowhere near done.
Yeah, and we were inching towards
for once, we can't pick. We have finally gotten to the point where we can't agree on something.
No, we're gonna pick on the activity, but we'll figure it out eventually.
Trying to pick an activity for Olivia to do with somebody. We won't say who, but Terryn has one idea and I have the other, and we can't decide.
Something on.
We don't agree for once, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. We did that. Resistance probably the end of the week. Like it's one, like literally it's one scene and then final editing. We've done a lot of the editing. It's a real long chapter. The chapter's probably like 25,000 words. It's long. So when it happens, you sit down, have a snack, something, and read that bad boy because it's good stuff there. That's the only thing we can work on. We covered a lot of stuff today. I'm gonna edit this real quick and then go ahead with the anchor. Let's see what else. Anything else you need to talk about? Besides writing the writing is really good this week, so it'll be done. So you could just finish that scene because I always want to finish that scene.
Yeah. Tonight. We have to finish something in like 2 small things in chapter 6, and then we already collected all the references, so we just need to compile everything together and post it and let you all read.
We might just do that tonight because that's closer to being done than our other project. Yeah, we could do that tonight. All right, so
I think that's all we got.
That's all we got.
Thanks for listening to our analysis and reviews and rambling and whatnot.
Yeah, whatever this is. You
Well,
did spend your time on it.
hopefully we won't take 2 weeks to do the next episode.
But we won't because there's no breaks, I don't think, for a minute. Also, because if you didn't know, if you're on Spotify, rate the podcast. It makes us happy. We'll see something sad to say. They don't tell us that. If you're on Spotify, there is a poll box. Not poll box. There's a question box on Spotify. And if you want to tell us about the episode, what are your thoughts? You tell us that too. We'll probably talk about them because you didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and one more thing. Terryn made an edit for.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter, TRD_podcast. Follow us on Instagram. Instagram, no, the Instagram isn't that great yet. It's Truth Friends Seek Podcast on Instagram.
Yeah.
Go check us out. Yeah. I try to tweet every week or so if it's something good you want to talk about. Yeah.
All right. I think that's everything.
Yeah, that's it. All right. So it's late. Thanks for listening. It's late. Time for editing and time. All right. Goodbye. Goodbye.